Earth has one moon that is about 384,400 kilometers from the planet's surface. It takes approximately 27 days for the moon to orbit the Earth just once. And also it takes the same amount of time for us to see its phases change from new moon to full moon and back again. But what if our home planet had not just one moon, but two moons? How would this affect our daily life on Earth? Let's find out in today's video. What if the Earth had two moons? If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Subscribe now and press the bell icon for getting notifications of all the videos we upload on the mysteries of the universe. Also, at the end of the video, you will find a link to a poll where you can vote and tell us which aspect of the cosmos you would like us to cover in the next video. So don't forget to check it out. Now let's get back to the topic. The gravitational force of the moon causes the tides in our oceans. Because the moon is so close to the Earth, its gravity pulls ocean water toward it. This is why we have high tides when the moon is full or new. When the moon is at its quarter phases, its gravity combines with the sun's gravity to create extra high tides known as spring tides. If there were two moons orbiting the Earth, the tidal range would increase. This means that during high tide, the water level would rise more and fall more during low tide. Some scientists believe that there may have been two moons in the past that crashed into each other and formed one large moon. As a result, the tidal range was probably much greater in the past than it is today. The night sky would look different if the Earth had two moons. With two moons, the constellations would appear different from those who live in the northern hemisphere because they would see one moon in the sky in the daytime and another one at night. In addition, every culture would have different names for the moons, depending on whether they appear in the sky during the day or at night. Scientists say that if the second moon were half the size of the first one, it would be visible in the sky as bright as the sun. However, if it were twice as large, it would be even brighter. Having two moons in the sky could mean twice as many moon landings. Humans could use the second moon as an additional resource to establish a permanent presence on the moon. People could live and work there, growing food in greenhouses and conducting scientific experiments. There would be more meteor showers on Earth. If the Earth had two moons, there would be more opportunities for meteor showers. A meteor shower occurs when the Earth passes through a path of debris left by a comet or asteroid. The debris burns up in the atmosphere, leaving behind a bright streak of light. The more moons there are, the more likely it is that some of them will pass through these paths of debris, resulting in more meteor showers. We would see two different types of eclipses. If we had two moons, we would see two different types of solar eclipses. The first one would occur when the smaller moon passed between the Earth and the Sun. This would create a partial solar eclipse, and the second one would occur when the larger moon passed between the Earth and the Sun. This would create a total solar eclipse. We would also see two different types of lunar eclipses. The first one would occur when the Earth casts its shadow on the smaller moon. This would create a partial lunar eclipse. And the second one would occur when the Earth casts its shadow on the bigger moon. This would create a total lunar eclipse. The length of a year would change. If the Earth had two moons, the length of a year would change. The moons would exert a gravitational force on the Earth, which would cause it to wobble on its axis. This would make the Earth's orbit around the Sun more elliptical, and the length of a year would increase. The extra gravitational pull of the moons would also slow down the Earth's rotation, which would lengthen a day by several minutes. The climate would change. If the Earth had two moons, the climate would change. The extra gravitational pull of the moons would cause more water to be pulled toward them, which would lead to less precipitation on Earth. The moons would also reflect more sunlight, which would warm the Earth's surface. These changes in climate could have major impacts on weather patterns and could lead to more extreme weather events. Light and dark periods would be equal. If the Earth had two moons, the length of a day and night would be equal. Each moon would take turns being in the sky, so the light and dark periods would be evenly balanced. This would mean that we would have 6 hours of daylight and 18 hours of darkness every day. There would be more earthquakes. If the Earth had 2 moons, there would be more earthquakes. The extra gravitational pull of the moons would cause the Earth's crust to shift and move. This would lead to more tectonic activity and more earthquakes. It would rain diamonds bigger than grizzly bears. Diamonds form under intense heat and pressure deep within the Earth. If the Earth had 2 moons, the extra gravitational pull of the moons would cause the Earth's mantle to heat up. This would cause more diamonds to form, and they would be larger than grizzly bears. That's right. If you live in a place where it rains diamonds, your umbrella would come in handy. It would be difficult to predict the weather. If the Earth had 2 moons, it would be difficult to predict the weather. The extra gravitational pull of the moons would cause more extreme weather events, such as hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods. This would make it difficult for meteorologists to forecast the weather accurately. Plants would grow faster. If the Earth had 2 moons, plants would grow faster. The extra light reflected by the moons would provide more energy for photosynthesis, which is the process by which plants convert light energy into chemical energy. This would lead to more rapid growth in plants. Animals would be affected. If the Earth had 2 moons, animals would be affected in many ways. The extra gravitational pull of the moons would cause some animals to grow larger than others. For example, birds would have longer wings and humans would be taller. The extra light reflected by the moons would also affect the behavior of some animals. For example, nocturnal animals would be more active during the day and diurnal animals would be more active at night. The Earth would wobble on its axis. If the Earth had 2 moons, it would wobble on its axis. The extra gravitational pull of the moons would cause the Earth to wobble, which would lead to more extreme weather events. We would have more holidays. If the Earth had 2 moons, we would have more holidays. We would celebrate the 2 moons in the sky with 2 different holidays. This would give us more days off to enjoy the view. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out another video on how would you survive in space without a spacesuit. Or click here to watch another video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.